We haven't been in the program long, but we've closed about $61,000 in total revenue. And based on the spend that we've done to do that, we're pretty happy with those results, and definitely excited for more continued and even better results.
I'll just ask the first thing here. Oh, first I'll give an introduction. I'm here with Kyle Schooley, and he's kind of gone through a few months in our program, and yeah, just kind of want to dive in how his experience has been with us so far. So, first things first, Kyle, could you tell us a little bit about your story, like the type of clients you serve, your market, and what you do?
Sure, yeah. Well, we're mostly a exterior residential remodeling company. We also offer bathroom remodeling, bath and shower, and we've been in business since 2008. So, about 16 years now, and we serve not only Wichita, Kansas, but kind of the surrounding 2-hour radius of the Wichita, Kansas area.
That's great. Great to hear. And then curious to know as well, how was your marketing beforehand, investing into our program? Can you kind of dive in a little deep on what you were doing before?
Yeah, we attend local trade shows and events. We do some, door knocking, getting out and talking with people, and then we work with, a variety of different lead gen type of services, and that's probably the major crux of how we get in front of homeowners.
Gotcha. So you're kind of mainly, did you feel like you had a big online presence beforehand, working with us, or were you kind of relatively like a lot of referral, um, growth?
No, I'd say we had a pretty decent online presence beforehand. It's always a challenge, and you can use a half a dozen different services to get in front of homeowners, but then you're always thinking, yeah, but there's probably more homeowners out there that I'm not getting in front of through that service. And I think one of the things that really stood out to us about Clive Systems was, you know, um, I guess in one major way, it was different than other lead gen services, that it was not like, well, here, I'll just shoot you a name and a phone number, and you just got charged for that, and good luck. Hopefully you're able to get a hold of them and get in front of them. And then, I think I originally I appreciated that, you guys kind of pitch this idea of like, hey, let us perform first, let us guarantee that you get in front of people, and then, obviously there would be, payment for that service. And a major pain point for us is we do receive a lot of leads, but we don't there might be a lot of those we don't make contact with. They're not interested in talking with us. They don't really know. They don't even know that that we have their information. And so, just kind of navigating that and the frustration of that, I think Clive Systems kind of stood out in that area, saying, hey, not only are we going to make contact, we're actually going to book you an appointment, which as you know, and a lot of people know, that usually is a much higher intent prospect of somebody who's actually willing to book it.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, that makes complete sense because a lot of roofing companies deal with a lot of time wasting and like unqualified follow up of potentially the lead that they got from this company could be an opportunity for them. But you're right in the sense like it could be a huge leverage for you if you just save a bunch of that grunt work in between when the lead is generated and the actual opportunity of you showing up. That can save you a
Mhm,
lot of time and money, right?
mhm.
For sure. So I guess what do you think was do you feel like that was the main reason that you decided to take action investing in a program like that? And what other than that, what do you feel like was holding you back before, investing into the program?
I don't think there was a lot holding me back. I mean, I think from the very first conversation I had with you guys, the what you had to offer was compelling. Um, if there was anything holding me back, it's just a matter of, working things into the budget and making sure, for kind of taking that initial risk of like, hey, I'm gonna, I'm gonna invest some dollars into this. And I think there's always that kind of well, we'll see if this works, and you take kind of a calculated risk. And so that was maybe the only thing that, maybe caused some hesitancy, but I think, you guys did a great job, from the start of just kind of I think being upfront and clear with who you are, what you do, how you do it. And then that definitely helps when you're trying to kind of calculate that investment risk of starting a new program and putting dollars at something that you hope you're going to get a return on.
For sure. For sure. Makes sense. Kind of to wrap things up here to kind of get into more the result based experience of what you got out of the program and working with us. Can you tell us, Kyle, how many jobs and projects you've closed so far? How many potential leads and opportunities you're seeing now? About 3 months into the program.
Yeah, so it was a little slow going at first. And we were, as we've talked, we were getting in front of some prospects that, maybe wasn't a good fit for us, but now that and I'll say that's another thing that I think has went well in our partnership is that, you guys having the willingness to adapt, and not just say, well, just, a lot a lot of companies out there say, "Well, just keep waiting. Eventually, it'll start to work. Just keep waiting." And I think you guys had a willingness to adapt and look at what we were doing and adjust things and change things. And so, to answer your question more directly, we have, if my memory serves me right, we've closed about. We haven't been in the program long, but we've closed about $61,000 in total revenue. And based on the spend that we've done to do that, we're pretty happy with those results and definitely excited for more continued and even better results.
For sure, for sure. I think based on some of your account metrics, there's a lot of opportunity in the pipeline currently, hopefully ready to come through the door and close to add more of that top line revenue. So that's awesome to hear. I really appreciate that, Kyle, and the kind words you said. I guess kind of final things to say if you had to, let's say there was another contractor potentially, looking at this video, watching this interview, and they're considering investing into a program like ours, but they're sort of like sitting on the fence because they feel like internally something's holding them back. Maybe they've been burned by so many marketing companies before. Um, what would you say to that person, that person on the other side of the screen, just based overall, like what would you say to that person?
Well, the first thing I would say is I totally get where you're coming from. Anybody that's been in business for more than 6 months can probably understand the hesitancy of trying something new. And there's never a shortage of things to spend money on, both personally and in business. At the end of the day, I think you have to take the information that's in front of you and uh, um, you're going to come to a point where you have to, like I said earlier, you have to be willing to take, risks. I like the phrase calculated risk, and you have to kind of calculate your risk and try to, mitigate any concerns that you have. But I think one thing that stood out to me early on is being able to work directly with someone like yourself at CLIVE Systems and not feeling like I'm just going to kind of get thrown as a cog into this big machine of marketing, and I'm going to get passed around and handed around to who knows who, and so I've been there before, and it's frustrating if things aren't going the way that you want. You feel like you're just kind of at that point you're just another number to that company, and they're just they never have a shortage of dollars that you can spend, and you just that usually leads to being like, you just getting this point of frustration where you're like, you know what, forget it, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, to that person that might be listening to this, I'd say, evaluate, what about the person that you're talking with, and take that calculated risk, and know that you're working with, a true partner. Everyone talks about partnership, but know that you're working with a true partner that from my experience backs up what they say as far as they want you to be successful and they want to work with you to make the campaign successful and help you reach your goals. Like I said, a lot of companies say that, not a lot of companies, or I should say, there's plenty of companies out there that don't really back that up with action.
100%. Would you feel like we did that for you? An honest
Yes,
opinion?
yes. Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean, we've had, we've had some things we've had to work through. Obviously, you're never going to do anything without feeling some sort of frustration or growing pains, if you will. And so we've had that, but like I said, that hasn't even any frustrations I may have felt even early on. It was met with information and met with response, not met with, well, this is normal. Just hold on. This is going to work. Just because I've been there before, where I've had companies just say, well, this is totally normal, and just hold on. It's going to start to work, and then it doesn't, and you don't feel like you're getting much help. And then, like I said, it usually ends in you just being like, you know what, forget it. I don't want to do this anymore. And
Yeah,
you might take a loss, and that's painful in business. So like you said earlier, you sometimes you kind of carry that with you, and it can sometimes make you jaded on certain decisions. But you gotta put yourself out there and take that risk, or you'll just literally stay right where you're at with no change.
for sure. If things won't be any different, then you won't experience a different result. So
Hmm.
it's definitely the most important thing is to uh, not only gain the confidence in who you're potentially working with, but have confidence in yourself to be
Yeah.
actually wanting to change and like have the courage to change your situation. So that's a big part of it.